Okay, so we're back with the Allstate. And the Allstate has been running great. It actually has been running really good. And I've been really happy with it. I ride it all the time, but there's one thing that kind of annoys me about it. And there is a solution for it. And it's a little hard to find, but it's not crazy hard. But I had to wait a little bit to get one. It's hanging over there. It's a side stand. You know, that's the one thing about this bike that just makes it slightly less convenient. You pull up, just throw the kickstand down. You know, I'm not sure if the carburetor, you know, or the engine, if there's any sort of bad thing with it to be sitting on there. You know, you always have, like, there's some old bikes like BMWs where you have them on the side stand too long, just all the oil running to one side, all of the gas into one carburetor, and then this one kind of goes empty. It's usually all the bad stuff I've heard is on multi-carburetor bikes, but this has one, and if you tip it over to the left, the float, you know, it's a real simple carb. There's nothing in there to really get, you know, too messed up with. You have your remote float and a thing that goes up and down. You know, there's not really like an accelerator pump or anything crazy on here. You know, maybe if the float's too full, maybe it'll drain out the air filter. I'm not sure, but so I don't think there's too much of a problem. Long-term storage, I'm still going to put it up on the stand, but going into the stores and stuff, because I use this for shopping. I every time I make a quick run to the hardware store or a quick run to the automotive store or whatever, this is what I take. And I also take it on a few longish journeys, but I do actually want to do some more traveling, like actual traveling with it. So kickstand, I'm hoping, will just take away one of the, you know, few annoyances I have with the bike. And it's really not that big of a deal. It's just weird. And the bike actually has the mounts already for it. They just never came with them. So, but first, before we go any further, I just wanted to acknowledge that Matt over in Motor West is having a hell of a year right now. And he's going through some shit. So, just give him as much support as we can, because he's really going through it. And he is the main part guy that I know. I'm sure there's a few people out there that have some parts, but he's just got so much knowledge that we really need to stick with him. He's been sticking with us this whole time, you know, making sure we have parts, building stuff for us. He's done amazing work. So I'm going to do my part to make sure he stays in good spirits. Everybody just think about him, you know. So yeah, good luck, Matt. We need you. And that being said, I ordered this from Motor West, and it came within just a few days. Good price. He just got his big spring shipment in, so he's got a ton of stuff. Came in right before the tariffs. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get it in there while you can. Plus, he needs the money. We all do. That being said, let's get this installed and see what it's all about, because I'm excited about it. Now, when you buy these things, they come primered. And the primer actually looks pretty good. It looks like it's painted, but it's just primer. So before you start installing them, even if you're excited, go ahead and paint them. And you want something kind of hard. And I do this Rust-Oleum gloss. I do a couple coats of that. It's not only real strong, but it's a pretty close match to the black that's on there. So that's what I painted the little suspension rods with for the thing. And so this seems to work pretty good. I've already got them painted. They've been drying for about 24 hours. And so we're going to go ahead and put them on, assemble them. but I figured you didn't want to watch me poorly paint things because I get a little lazy. I'm impatient. I don't have very good patience for this, so I just kind of so, but it's all coated. It's just not pretty. But no, it's too bad. I mean, it's not too bad looking. All right, let's get this assembled and on. Now, as odd as it may sound, the bracket actually mounts on the exhaust pipe. So we're going to mount it here, and you'll see underneath here is a little tab where this will mount. So it'll mount just like this, and the kickstand will kick like this, right about here. So a little up front. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this exhaust pipe, loosen it up down there, 2 13mm nuts, I believe, and then we'll take off the exhaust pipe, slide this on, put the exhaust pipe back on, and then I found a bolt that should work with this, and painted the screw as well, but I need to take the paint off the thread. So let's start by removing the exhaust pipe, and then we'll move to assembly. And then I am going to remove the paint. We're going to put some Loctite on there. Okay, well, let's remove it. Now this one, I believe, is a 10. So we'll use the shorter extension for that one. And then we don't have to switch things out. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Boo! Okay. Cool. Exhaust pipe off. Now, we will slide on our bracket. Make sure it's going on the right way. Okay, so now, tighten up these 13s. Easy one on there first. Cool. Okay, so now I'll bring it down here so I can show you where this hooks up to. And you'll see underneath is a little tab right there. And that is where this hooks up to, in theory. I've never done this or tried it, but in theory, that's where it hooks up, just like that. So I found me a bolt, one of the square, whatever, so it should stay in there and lock it up. Then I found an old nut and put it on there, so in theory, we should be able to get this in there and tighten it up. Give it the old whirl, huh? And yeah, I know, it still leaks. And I'm okay with that, you know? Sometimes you gotta give a little back. Give a little, take a little, you know? But I wasn't sure this bolt was gonna work, so first let's see here. Okay, so it does slide in there. Get in there. Perfect. Now we're gonna put this on. This nut is a nylon nut, so. And you know what? You're a nylon nut. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It sounded like a threat. Oh yeah? Well, you're a nylon nut. Oh yeah, this is gonna work perfect. And I didn't pre-try this nut either. This is just a serendipitous happy moment. Look at that. It's like it was built for it or something. Sick. Okay, so now we're going to put the kickstand on here, put the screw in there, and we're going to see if this bumps anything, and see where we need to maybe put a stopper. See if this is in the way or something like that. So far that went together real well though. Not bad, huh? Okay, well let me grab the other pieces. I'll be back in a second. Oh my God, it didn't record. Wait a minute. I was saying all kinds of crazy stuff there. This camera got it, but you guys missed it because it stopped recording. I gave away the secrets of life. I called you a Nyla nut. Oh well, what can you do, right? Recap. Put this on there. Put the bolt in there. The bolt worked perfectly. Nyla nut, what have you. My neighbor Darren's weed whacking. And now we're going to put on the kickstand and see what happens, because I think it's going to hit something up here. Obviously, it's got to rest somewhere. So we're going to have to figure out where it's resting and if we need to put a stop on there, or if you can't see it and it's just going to beat something to death that no one can see anyway. So let's try that first. But I'm going to go clean that screw and get some Loctite for it. And I know, like, some people are always like, well, there's a few people that have been like, why do you lay on the ground, or why don't you get a stand? Man, I'm laying down, you know, instead of hunching over, I'm laying down. You know, this is pretty good. It's like a lounge situation, you know. And then, yeah, you know, that's why I do. I'm just joking. That's not why I do it. I'm just too cheap to buy a thing. I need to, but it's a whole thing. But anyway, let's get the other thing on. All right, we got the deal. Got the screw. Now I decided not to put Loctite on there because it is only a flathead. And let's see how it works first. I don't want to Loctite it in there and have to remove it and strip the shit out of it. I'm trying to get it out, so let's try that first, you know what I'm saying? See, it hits this bolt, so we may end up having to move this out a little bit, and then this should just strike. Okay, well first, put the thing in there. Or nor. Where are we at? There it is. We got one. We got two. Now, get the old screw my driver. Okay. Now we got a nice, you know, cool. Okay, well let's move this now, because this will be, you know, I'd rather this be slightly uglier and then have the thing work right. Okay. This misses. Okay, so now it just contacts. I'm okay with that. Okay. That seems pretty good. So now all we have to do is the old spring, which connects right here. Okay. See if we can do this without killing ourselves and everyone around us. Look at that. I think the spring could probably be stronger, in my opinion. I think that'll work though. This one fell. Here, get some shots like this. So yeah, that went on pretty easy. Not the cheapest accessory, but doesn't really get in the way of anything either. So you can still change oil. You can still. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. Well, let's test it out. So my thoughts are, all in all, it's meant to go on the bike, so it went on super easy. I didn't practice anything before I put this on. I just painted it and then, turned the camera on. So it seems extremely straightforward to do. Works like it's supposed to. Looks like it belongs on it. And I think maybe, the lean angle is a little light, but that's probably because, my shocks and stuff are pretty wore out. I haven't rebuilt either one, so the rest of the bike was wore out, but they seem fine. So maybe this might be the lean angle. It's fine. I'm just probably worrying too much. It's not a locking kickstand, so watch out for that. Pushing it forward, it will just fall down. So watch out for that. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like it works pretty good. So go ahead and, when you find one, pick it up, because being able to pull up, just throw the kickstand down and walk in, that's gonna change a little bit for me. I know that, like, a lot of people, it's not a big deal. It's not really that big of a deal to me, but it's just it just takes away an element that kind of annoys me about it. Having to use it, having to. Sometimes I just want to throw the kickstand down and walk in. I don't want to have to try to find a perfect parking spot. I know it's silly, but it's me. And so, yeah. So, especially if you can find one at Motor West. Again, Matt, I'm out here for you. You just, you let us know what you need. And, yeah. Go for a ride. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go test this in a couple places. That's what I want to do. Let's go test it. Let's go make sure it works in real life, not just the garage.